It's a Saturday morning, and he's making pancakes when the kitchen fills with a light that has no source. Every shadow in the room points the same way at once. He knows what it is before his mind says the word. Don't look, he grabs his son and turns them both away from the glass and counts. The city on the horizon is 40 miles away. The light means it no longer exists the way it did a minute ago. What he does in the next 30 minutes decides whether his son grows up, not the missile, the minutes. This is the half hour almost nobody understands, played through once, so you never have to guess. First, the light. It can blind you from distances where nothing else can touch you. You feel lucky, you aren't yet. He counts the seconds like thunder. The ground wave arrives first, a deep shrug under the floorboards. Then he pulls his son away from the window because the air is still coming. 40 miles means minutes. When the blast wave reaches a quiet suburb, it arrives as every window on the street at once. They ride it out under the stairs, his body a shell around the boy, and the house shivers but holds. If you remember one thing about the first minute, remember it in this order: turn away, drop, cover, count. Outside the blast circles, almost everyone who gets hurt by glass and falling things, not by the flash. So the window seat where his son eats breakfast every morning is the most dangerous place in the house today. Now the clock that matters, fallout, the word everyone knows and almost nobody can explain. The strike pulled tons of earth up into the cloud, burned it radioactive, and the sky gives it back as gray snow. That snow is the killer of the second hour, and it needs time to fall, 10 minutes, maybe 30 where he lives. 30 minutes is a gift if you spend it moving. It's a death sentence if you spend it filming the cloud. He doesn't film, he runs the list his father drilled into him, the one that felt paranoid until 9 minutes ago. Water first before the mains go strange. Every pot, every bottle, the bathtub to the brim. Then the shelter core. The rule is walls and dirt, as many walls between your family and the sky as the house owns. The basement corner under the porch has earth on 2 sides and 2 floors overhead. That corner is now home. No basement, the building's core. A hallway, a pantry, a bathroom with no outside wall, never the car. A car is a glass box with a tin roof. Against fallout, it protects you about as well as a summer shirt in a blizzard. Neighbors are still outside, staring at the horizon. He shouts once from the door, points at the sky, and shuts it. You can't argue people out of awe. You have 30 minutes. Spend them on the ones inside your walls. Sealing comes next, rough and fast. This isn't about airtight, it's about dust. Fallout is grit, not gas. Towels under doors, tape over vents and cracks, windows shut. Good enough beats perfect. Anything that was outside stays outside. Shoes at the door, jackets in a garbage bag, and hands washed twice. The red radio starts cranking. Broadcast stations have hardened studios, and instructions will come on the hour. Phones may live or die by the strike's pulse. The crank radio doesn't care. It's $20 of not being alone. He marks the wall, time of the flash, time the dust began. The clock on the wall is now the most useful thing he owns. Here is the number that saves lives, the one worth tattooing behind your eyelids. 72 hours. Radiation from fallout doesn't fade like paint, it collapses. Every 7 hours, most of its power is simply gone. What would be lethal at hour 1 is a fraction of itself by the second night, and a shadow of that by day 3. So the deadliest thing a survivor can own in the first 2 days is impatience. At hour 6, the man 2 houses down packs his family into the car and drives into the gray. The dust he drives through, the dust he stirs into the air, the dust in his vents. Hour 6 is the worst hour to move. Inside, the boy is bored, and bored is beautiful. Bored means safe. They play cards and ration crackers. They drink stored water, never the first rain. They eat what's sealed, never what sat in the open. Twice a day the radio speaks. Sector maps, wind shifts, which highways are dust corridors and which are clean. This is why the 30 minutes mattered. Everything after is just patience, water, and a door that stays shut. Day 3, the radio clears their sector, and stepping out has rules of its own. Cloth over the mouth and nose, not because air is poison now, but because stirred dust doesn't care what day it is. Long sleeves, hats, gloves. Fallout can't burn through skin from a distance, but it loves to sit on it. Nothing from the garden, nothing off the ground. Sealed and stored is the whole menu for a while. And when they walk across the wind, out of the plume's shadow, the way the radio drew it. The city took the missile, but out here in the wide circle around it, the missile only asked questions. Do you look at the flash or turn away, stand in awe or move, drive at hour 6 or hold until day 3? His son will remember pancakes, a game of cards in the basement, and his father's calm. That was the whole victory. The half hour that decided it cost nothing to learn, a corner in the basement, a red radio, a list on a card. Most people will never night it, but the ones who do will need it in the first 30 minutes with no time to search. So tonight, pick your corner, count your walls, and put a crank radio where your hands can find it in the dark. If this made you look at your own basement differently, subscribe. The next one might be the list you'll wish you knew.